What's up, everybody? How's it going? Who was first in the chat today? Oh, I think. Let's see who it was. Luminous Cloud, you're welcome. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's Father's Day tomorrow, isn't it? What's up to all the dads out there? .343 Labs, of course. Thomas is in the chat. Hey, Paul Hackner. Serotonin Records. Who could that be? What's up, BPMF? Partner in crime with me and that our label from back in the day. Still alive, as we're going to talk about. Josh Holiday, Cosmic J, Acid Bat, Orale. Yes, indeed. Stereo Decor. That's right. H. Ali. Hey. Just getting warmed up. It's an Electro day for more than one reason. Let's get into it, I guess. Why wait any longer? Welcome, everybody. How's it going? It's John Selway here. It's Selway Techno Saturday. Actually, I'm sorry, it's Selway Electro Saturday today. What am I thinking? It's Selway Techno and Electro Saturday. We flip-flop. We love it all. We're on 343 TV, brought to you by 343 Labs Music Production School here in New York City, in Berlin, and all over the world online on the World Wide Web. You know, the series of tubes that are connected. Anyway, we do what we do: music education, music community. I do a synth and sound design class. We've got mixing and mastering. You can like be a total beginner and make your first track with Ableton Live course. We do lots of stuff. We got a live performance thing going on in the other room right now. We're busy lately. We got a year program that we're starting. It's happening. We got a bunch of people signed up, and it's looking really good. Like, we're growing, you know, in no small part thanks to you guys there who are part of the community and, like, you know, following along. And yeah, I really appreciate that. So thanks to all of you out there who have stayed, you know, in the crew and are here in the chat almost every week. And, you know, some of you are signing up for classes. I know I've met some of you in online classes and the Making Techno course. Still thinking about developing the Making Electro course. That was a question I got on Facebook the other day about that. Need to still work out that curriculum, but I trust that it will happen. I'll let you know, of course, when it's ready. So yeah. If you want to know more about 343 Labs and what we do, we've got links in the description. And yeah, let's talk a little bit. Someone was asking about the next feedback session. That's one of the things that I do here every now and then on the stream. I have a guest come in and we invite you guys to submit your tracks. We check them out. We give you constructive criticism. So yeah, we've got one coming up next Saturday, the 24th, and my special guest for that day is D from Drunken Kong. He's a really great techno producer. I know him primarily from his releases on Tronic, and of course, you know, I've got a big, strong connection with Tronic and Christian Smith. So, you know, he's a mutual friend of ours, and he's got big records out, this guy. He's a really good producer. I think he's even got something on Drum Code recently. So he's going to hang out all the way from Japan, right? It's going to be crazy. It's going to be pretty late for him. But we're going to check out your tracks. So if you want to submit a techno track, this is techno feedback this time. Some of you already know what to do. Basically, we have our Discord server. There's a link down in the description if you haven't already joined. And in the Selway feedback channel, post usually a SoundCloud link would be what you want to do. And there's already a bunch in there, I think. So we'll do what we can to get as many of the submissions as we can. We'll probably do over an hour, maybe 2 hours, depending on how late it is there in Japan. But yeah, that's what's up with the next feedback session. So again, go to the Discord link in the description, head to the Selway feedback channel, and that's where you want to post your submission for our techno feedback session next week. In other news, I want to continue. At the end of the show last week, we talked about some new releases, and I gave away some, I offered some codes, some free download codes. And, I had five to give away for the new Serotonin, which is out today officially on Bandcamp and on vinyl. And I had also 5 codes for this Depth release, which I did remixes for. A couple of you contacted me. It was a little bit disorganized with how to handle it. What you can do, I'm going to say, if you haven't, I have the list of the winners. I'm going to say them again here. We had for the Depths for the Serotonin release, for the Millennium Sound remixes, we had Simple Sam, Omar, Maya, Data Rebel, Luminous Cloud, and Karsten Becker, right? What I want you to do is either message me on Instagram, Selway Music on Instagram, if you haven't collected your code, or you can join the Discord and message me there through the 343 Labs Discord. So that's probably the easiest way to do it. It was a little convoluted last time. And same thing for the Depths release. And the names who have codes for the Depths release are Data Rebel, Baumeister, Stevie DeHant, Grayson, and Aaron303. Yeah, and so like I said, a couple of you have already contacted me and I gave you your codes, but the rest of you, if you missed out, please reach out and I will make sure you get your codes. So that's it for that. That's it for the due diligence. And let's talk a little bit about what we're doing today. What's up, Anthony Rother? Thank you very much for the congratulations. I appreciate that. And yeah, I'm really happy with that release. Like getting Radioactive Man and Sync 24 and Transparent Sound to remix one of my favorite tracks that I did with Serotonin in the 90s. Really, it means a lot to me to have those guys support. And, I know for sure Radioactive Man and Transparent Sound, they were playing the record back in the day. So it was perfect to have them come back and do their take on it. So thanks to those guys. And I should probably put a link to the releases. I'll put links to the releases in the description after the show. You guys can easily get the links there. When you post links in the chat here, they don't always show up. So awesome. What are some other names in the chat? We got Low Res in here. We got Florian Frankenberger. We've got Alessandro Braz. And again, Anthony, thanks for coming back. We love it when you're here. So I've been slowly working on this track. I'm still kind of muddling through it. What I've been doing lately is kind of, rather than, just only start new ideas, I've been trying to work each week. I've been trying to work a little bit at a time through a track towards completion. There's a techno track that I'm pretty much done with that you saw last time. And now I'm going to continue with this electro track. Still don't have a name for it. It's kind of like, a little more of a musical track now. It's getting melodic. It's where it's headed. And so let's have a listen to where I'm at in this track, and then we'll just see what we need to do next. I'm still thinking about it. I'm still kind of in the I'm arranging, but I'm still thinking about adding new parts to it and modifying what's there. I don't want to go overboard with it. I want to keep it simple. I don't want to get too crazy technical with it. Kind of just concentrating on the overall structure and the melody and the small details in the arrangement. So let's have a listen. something just went away too early there. Maybe that drone. Pretty happy with the progression here, the melodic change in the bass. Nice, I like that. Escape from New York atmosphere. A little bit of soundtrack, a little bit of, I know what you mean. I haven't seen that movie in so long. I need to check it out again. All right. John Carpenter, right? John Carpenter is the guy. Amazing movies in the 80s and also amazing synthesizer soundtracks. All right, so far so good with this arrangement. From here on is where I feel like I need to do more development. I like how it's floating here. Okay, here is where I'm not sure. Here is where I mean, it's okay, right? Something else needs to happen there. I think that's what we need to explore. All right, I'm going to stop there and think about it. And Luminous Cloud's pointing out there's an electro track on the album I did with Christian Smith. There's a couple of electro tracks. I know what you're talking about. The title is escaping me right now. It's been a long time. But yeah, I know what you mean. You're right. There is a little similarity in some of the vibe of this. So, Alessandro Braz, what you just... suggested to cut the ARP out. That was one of the first things I was thinking. So yeah, we're right there. Is that maybe this is time to have more of a contrast and remove a section that was been in there a while. So, and I'm going to be, I played around with it just for a little bit what we're listening to. I've got this, I'm going to automate the decay of this to make it a little bit fuller and a little bit sharper. I'm just going to play around. And one thing I thought about is in this section, when the beat comes back, to bring it, maybe not to make it disappear all the way, but like keep it really tight and sharp so you can barely hear it in the background. It becomes almost just like a percussion sound. So that's one idea that I had. It's like sort of hiding in the background. And it's out of the way, and it's making more space for the drums and the bass line here. Another thing is that I wanted this part to, you can hear that it's the same melody in the bass, but it's broken up and in a syncopated kind of pattern. Instead of playing the long notes with the 16th note modulation, you're hearing the dotted eighth notes, right? So, I've got this function I'm using this function as an envelope, and that's kind of making it more or less plucky. And I can make it longer and more sustained, or I can make it more sharp. And I feel like that might be good right there. Maybe we can automate that. Let me play around with that just a little bit. Like here it sounds good when it's slower. I could even, towards the end of this, I could build it up. If I slow down that envelope, it's going to be brighter for longer and more dramatic. And then it holds through the break. All right. So we want to be there. Let me make sure I have it where I want it. Where's that automation? There we go. All right, so that's the function rate. I'll fix the earlier part later. Let's get this right. I think that's a good decay time, but it needs to be brighter too, right? So let's go in and play around with the synth a little bit. There's the cutoff. That's probably what needs to automate up a little bit. Add that to the envelopes. That's better. Serotonin, Jason, BPMF says, make it tight. That is what I'm trying to do. Can it be even tighter? That's pretty tight. It's getting there. Uh-oh, that's downright ominous. Is that too much? I like it though. And then it's got to go tight again, right? Right there. Oh, too much. Okay. That's better. That's better. Let's hear how that works here. Dynamic tightness, more or less tight over time. Don't want this to go too much. And here we want it to be low. And then we got to mess around with the automation on the decay of the mini mode arpeggiator, whatever that is, sequence. I feel like there should be a little swell on the bass there too, maybe. Oop, where'd it go? Something like that. It needs to be perfected, but much less of the other sound. And I might need to think of a new sound in this part too. Some element to add in. I like the idea of the bass getting much more aggressive here, although I don't want to go too far. Drop it back down. Okay, so here's a compositional choice to make, right? It's what do I do now? Like, I feel like that at that point something needs to change. One thought I had was just repeating rather than doing the whole progression, repeating on just on the root, right? On the first note. And just keep it low. Maybe not do that high octave up or whatever that is. Oops. Wacky loop length. Yeah, like keeping it dark in this part. Back to that tightness that BPMF was talking about. And maybe a variation on the bass line here. Let's add a couple notes just to see what happens. Is that too much syncopation, Jason? Yeah, I think it is. That's the kind of syncopation that, like, it's cool, but it might, trip you up if you're trying to get into the groove on the dance floor. I don't know. Let me go back. Maybe we repeat that. Simplify. Yeah. Did I just lose all sense of timing? I'm really stuck on this one. I don't know. I want there to be an A-B. I want there to be a variation on the second half. Every few bars make everyone in the dance floor fall over with the syncopation. That's fun to do sometimes. I mean, if you think of really complex, crazy beats, like, not to compare myself with Aphex Twin, but man, I was watching once. People have been posting videos of his live show, and sometimes it's just so chaotic and crazy. It's amazing. I mean, not too many can pull off what Richard James pulls off at a festival. Talk about making everybody stumble. Yeah, I want this to be a different variation. All right, so in here, let's listen to this again. Oops. Dun, dun. And it works, especially with the melody changing. It's different though when it just repeats. Yeah, see, that second half is not good enough. Right there. I mean, it was... I'm gonna get it. Yeah, we're gonna get it. We're gonna get it. I swear to God. Okay. Better. This one goes with what the snare drum's doing. And I actually like it. There's that one little spot where there's a drum that drops out. What just happened? Yeah, right there. And then something has to come back in again, right? Maybe this is missing. We can put this back in. And the hi-hat, where'd the hi-hat go? I moved it around and I forget. There it is. That should be down here closer to the other drums, shouldn't it? Maybe we make a variation on the hi-hats. Wait, I might have one of those already. Hold on. I remember when I was first playing around with that hi-hat that I had two versions. There's a busier one and a less busy one. There it is. That's what we want. Let's drop that in if it's going to let me right there. Perfect. Alessandro Braz, thank you. I really hope I will release it one day too. I think we should do it. What do you think, BPMF? Put it on a new Selway serotonin release. It's about damn time. I got a bunch of stuff in the bag. Let's do it. Okay, so we're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting there. Let's take a breath. I feel like I need to take a little breath. What's up, everybody? Not quite halfway through. Actually, about halfway through the stream today. It is 343 TV. Selway Electro Saturday on 343 TV, brought to you by 343 Labs Music Production School here in New York City today. It's a nice day. Not too hot, a little humid, not so bad. We've also, we've got our classes going on. There's two classes going on right now. It's been buzzing. There were people doing like a songwriting workshop here this week. There's been a lot of music making going on in here. It's been really great to see. We had a performance showcase Thursday night. When we do that, we encourage our students that are live performers to come in and practice. It's like a practice live performance. It doesn't have to be perfect, right? You come in and work on your skills with an appreciative, audience that knows what you're doing. And it's a really big part of what we're trying to do here with 343 Labs is the community part of it. So you're not just out there watching YouTube videos by yourself. You're coming here, you're interacting with other students, you're collaborating. You're getting guidance and mentorship from us. And that's a big part of what we're doing with the one-year program is, if you're ready to commit your time to really develop and really make progress, and whether you're starting from the beginning or you already have some experience and you just want the structure, right? I mean, that's what we're here to provide. And, you take your various classes, your general production classes and whatever DAW, Live and Logic are mainly what we use in the class. We have, whether you're getting into live performance, you have classes for that. If you want to work on your, kind of music theory, composition, arranging, songwriting skills, we got classes for that. Our synthesis and sound design, whether it's kind of designed for if you're new to it, right? You're making music and you're using presets and you want to go a little deeper, understand more about how the synths work, how the effects work, how can you use presets better, even if you're not making every sound that you do from scratch, right? So, and then, we have a couple of genre-based classes online separate from the year program. But anyway, back to the year program, mentorship, accountability, keep, making sure as you go through the program that you're meeting the milestones. And, I'm really psyched that we're doing it starting in September. Again, check the link below if you want to know more about that. I have done my due diligence. Let's hang out again and talk about Electro. What are you guys talking about in the chat here? Yes, BPMF. New stuff. All of this. I have a bunch of you guys who have been watching the show for a while, like I've been making music on the show, and a lot of it that I worked on, at least one of the tracks I put out on Science Cult a little while ago. But yeah, I've been thinking about this. I've been honestly, full disclosure, I've been procrastinating. I have a lot of stuff. I could have had an album out already like last year. So, you know, talking about accountability, one of the reasons that I'm out here saying this to you guys is I said it. It's out there in the world. Now I got to do it, right? You guys can hold me accountable. Keep bugging me, and it will happen. All right. Alessandro Braz is asking if Abe is still teaching. Yeah, he hasn't been doing the live streams, but yes, he primarily is a mixing and mastering teacher here for us. And he does also other classes, Ableton Live and so on. So absolutely, yes, Abe is still teaching. He'll be a big part of the year program as well here in New York. So especially with the online stuff, he's been doing a lot of the online classes. That's one last thing now that I'm talking about the year program again, is it's hybrid, right? You can take some classes in person and some classes online. Not simultaneously. We're not doing like live streaming or Zoom calls in live in-person classes. It's going to be separate, but you can switch, right? You could go to school in Berlin, you can go to school in New York, or you can go online as part of the same year-long program. All right, enough about that. Back to Electro. And back to what is happening with this track. All right. So we're here I'm trying to get this. You know, I just realized I was looking at the time. I was like, I need to extend this further. But I don't want this track to be too much longer. It's already 5.5 minutes, about, maybe a little more. So... But I like what's happening in this. I want more of the just rock and beats part. So I wonder if I shouldn't shorten the earlier parts and get to the later parts sooner. That always happens to me when I'm arranging, is I'll get to the part at the end and I'll go, why didn't I do this sooner? Right? So that in mind, before I start going crazy trying to add more drum break variations at the end here, you could see like there's a whole like almost 2 minutes before the main bass line comes in. I feel like we could tighten this up a little bit. So let's end. All right. Now, that said, before I dive in and start cutting it up, it doesn't have to stop at 6 minutes. It could be a long, long track. I could make it 7.5 minutes or something. I've done that before. I actually like making long tracks. But I also know that a lot of times nowadays, it's kind of... tracks are shorter nowadays, whether it's just what DJs are playing or attention span or whatever it is. I feel like a 7-minute track isn't always going to work, depending on your style and your genre and what you want to do with it. And yeah, look at this. BPMF says intro is a bit long. Let's try to trim it down. Okay. All right, first thing I can do probably is just cut this 8-bar intro in half. So I'm going to take those 4 bars and delete time. All right, we already gained 5 seconds. 6 seconds. Let's do it again. I love how you can do that while it's playing. Yeah, look at that. We already took back a little more than 10 seconds. Like maybe that could happen sooner? I don't know. But I also kind of like it. Yeah, I feel like that whole... Here I can definitely cut. Because nothing happens. Except for that. I'm going to take a whole 8 bars out. Right there. And just go to this part. Because that's the same thing that just happened twice, which doesn't need to happen twice necessarily. All right, so let's take from 33 to 41. Delete time. Because nothing else changed. That's going to be an easy cut. All right, so we're after this thing with the pads. Hey, non-compliant, nice to have you. Just that one little bubbly chord. Doppler effect style chord. Maybe even this part could be shorter. Yeah, but I've cut a good amount of time out already. All right, now the whole track as arranged is under 5 minutes. Maybe I end it by 6. Might be able to cut out a little bit more in this section. Let's see. Okay, now, non-compliant saying you gotta have time to let that blend ride, which is true. Realistically, even though we might be thinking about dance music and DJing, this is a bit more leaning on the listening side, isn't it? So maybe it doesn't matter as much if I have the perfect intro for mixing. Now here's where I could cut. I could just drop right there. I could drop down to 97. They have more of a contrast. Like, all right, see what I mean? Like, instead of having the, because everything drops out here at 87. I'm sorry, at 89. And it plays the whole phrase again. What if I just drop to 97? Let's try it. Right, again, highlight the number of bars. Am I doing that right? I got to make sure I did the selection right. Actually, I'm going to go there. Okay, cross your fingers. I might have to do a little of adjusting of like where the clips stop and the automation, right? Because when you cut through automation, it like changes. So let's see how that goes. There's an extra note in there. That works. I always like when I'm writing text, I like to try to make it as concise as I can. That works with arranging too. I suppose this break could be shorter too. But then I also like how it feels anthemic when the high melody comes in right here. Maybe I'll just let it go. There's that extra chord. Jason says take the extra chord out. You might be right. Okay. I still feel like something's missing here though. Am I gonna be able to figure that out right now? BPMF likes it, thank you. Yes, that's the word of the day. It's tight. I think right here I'm gonna get rid of the low notes. Because just keep the high ones. Da-da, like. And maybe there. where it gets a little bit intense. I don't know. We'll see if this works. Barely hear it. And oh, I know what to do here. Oh yeah. We can bring this back. Yeah, that works. I love it. I also... Yeah, I like this part. I'm not sure if I want the pat there, or the string, or whatever it is. Could have a little mini break here, maybe? Another little, like, or we could go back to this. We haven't done that in a while, so that would be the thing to go back to, right? Yes, non-compliant. Go make some electro. Make some electro tracks for serotonin. We'd love to have you. We know you. We know you know the vibe. So yeah, it is dramatic. I want the drama to come back. Is that gonna work? So I want that to come back but not be too full right at the beginning. Okay, if I do go back to the original bass line variation, it should be there, I think. So let's try it. Let's just drop it in there and see if it works. Maybe we do like an actual break, just like drop all the drums out. And then, is there another version of the... Yes, there is. We haven't used this in a while. There's the other variation of the arpeggiator. It's not an arpeggiator. It's just a sequence that transposes up with the chords. All right, we're just gonna rock it out on this. This is great. I'm happy. So, Jose is thank you. I'm glad you like the bass line, and I agree. It rocks. No, if I do say so myself, I'm feeling it though. I'm feeling it. Teach us the process to make it. I believe a few videos back we did go in to some of the sound design for this. How many weeks ago? For sure, because this isn't the first time I've worked on this track in the stream. So yeah, I can show you real quick what's going on. I won't get too deep into, starting from scratch, but just to let you know that I'm using pigments. I'm using wavetable synthesis, I think. No, I'm not actually. I've got the analog engine, right? And pretty much what's making it, it's just sawtooth waves. So it's your usual buzzy analog sawtooth wave. But we're doing some audio rate modulation to create the metallic growl that's happening. And there's, and I know in the video previously I went into using, how I was tweaking the envelopes, like using multiple envelopes to get it to change in multiple ways. There's like a slow swell up and down. There's actually two of them now. And then there's functions, which are functions can be either envelopes or LFOs or sequences. And function 1 is working as an envelope, and it's doing the plucky part at the beginning. And then there's a second function doing the 16th note rhythm. So anyway, yeah, if you dig into the videos on the channel, there's a couple of, 2 or 3, maybe probably a month ago at this point, I worked on this very sound. So definitely. All right. Not to get too sidetracked. Serotonin Records BPMF says tighter. Yes, we're working on tighter. That is, here it is tight. I'm making it tighter, Jason. Very dramatic. I'm going to open up the release on the main melody it's the most it's been in the whole track. And I'm going to do a little musical move here, a compositional move, where instead of finishing out the pattern, going down, that's like diminished fifth, all right, augmented fourth, whatever it is. What I'm thinking about doing is holding it there, just on that note, and creating a little bit of variation and like kind of tension that didn't exist before. Oh, wrong note. We're going from here. You see it? It's not quite there yet. We have to do the same with this, with the main sequence, and not. What happened? There's multiple notes going on here. Okay. I missed the whole range here. It's like octave spanning. Let's just make it repeat. Yeah, we'll try it. What? Woo! Maybe we then... Okay. What happens if I put this here? All right, no, we don't want to drop the filter down there. I'm going to have to go back and tweak some of this automation. Sometimes it's getting a little too noisy. I want to like really ride the edge of too much there. And the beats definitely have to come back there, right? Too epic. I'm just going to drop all the drums in and cross my fingers. Mix out. It's not going to go back up again. This is it. It's already well, maybe we'll keep this in the background. Almost done. If I wanted to keep this at 6 minutes, this is it. Just this will be the nice little chill ending. I think I want to smooth out what the bass drone at the end does. Cool. Interdimensional Warlock. That's a good question. How long does it take you to finish a track, start to finish, generally? That is my struggle. Well, it depends. That's what I got to say. It depends. There have been tracks that came together in like a couple of hours, honestly. Like just some kind of combination of inspiration and luck. One of the biggest records of my career, was a techno track with Christian Smith called Move. It came out on Intec on Carl Cox's label in the 90s. And it was like a hit for us. Everybody played it. Like from techno DJs to commercial DJs, like, house, trance, techno, anybody who played like a steady kick drum, like the house guys would slow it down and the techno guys would speed it up. I mean, it was amazing at that time. I was like really lucky, but we did that track in, I would say 4 hours, right? This track that I'm working on now, I mostly only worked on it during the stream, and the stream's an hour long. And I think it's been 3 or 4 times I've worked on this. It started as a sketch when I was demonstrating a plugin. And then I came back to it. It started out totally different. It was more aggressive, more noisy, more distortion on the drums, but I liked the groove of it. And, so it started with the rhythm. But yeah, as far as time goes, time and effort, I'm going to say, around 4 hours. Now, it's probably going to take longer. This is like, if I could look at this and say, okay, it's almost done. The arrangement is almost done. But there's definitely details. And like you get like 90% in like 3 or 4 hours or 4 to 6 hours of work. And then you might spend another 3 or 4 hours just on the last 10% until you're done. I suppose you could, with experience, you should be able to mostly have a polished track done in a work day, like 8 hours, I think. If you could devote that much time and you've got the practice and the experience, you should be able to easily make a full track beginning to end in a day. But I know not everybody works like that, and I don't work like that. I work a little bit at a time over days and weeks, right? Most of the time. So I have a lot of overlapping projects where I, have like 4 or 5 tracks I'm working on at the same time, and then they get done little by little. All right. Thanks very much. It has been an hour. I really appreciate hanging out with all of you guys. I want to say again, if you are a winner from last week's stream for free Bandcamp download codes for A Paul Depths, which I did remixes for, or Selway Millennium Sounds remixes, which is out today on Bandcamp, message me one of 2 ways. Find me on Instagram, follow me on Instagram, message me there, Selway Music on Instagram, or you can join the 343 Labs Discord and message me via there. And you could also even just go to the Selway feedback channel and post. That's easy, right? Let me know that I owe you a code. I've got it ready for you. And also, as a reminder, next week we've got Drunken Kong, D from Drunken Kong. Drunken Kong's actually two people, but D is going to join us. Again, I know him through Christian and Tronic Records, and he's a really great producer. He's really growing, and he's got a lot of experience, and he's got a good ear and good skills, and he's going to be a good partner to go over your submissions for feedback next Saturday. So again, if you want to submit for feedback, 343 Labs Discord, link in the description. Go to the Selway feedback channel and post a SoundCloud link. That's the easiest way to go. If you don't like SoundCloud, don't worry. You can use other ways of sharing it. But that is what we are doing. So thanks again, everybody. Enjoy your week. Adios. Millennium sound. It takes you to the zone. In the zone you're free to move through the stars. In the zone you see the Zoid never dies.